While celebrations are taking place in several cities all across New York and other nearby areas such as Buffalo and Syracuse, there's a lot of disagreement and a wall is splitting two sides of America apart in terms of opinion, sadly. But we should get along. We're all Americans, we're all neighbors and people. In downtown Manhattan on Wall Street, a competition for the biggest parade is taking place down there. But also, a competition for a good seat took place there. A WQHT Wilson Walker managed to get a front row seat up there. Wilson?
The Wall Street Parade really does have everything American there. Horses, politics, entertainment, even some rock and roll there. It's really an interesting time to be an American with so much going on with the next election and so much division and rising tensions. So we asked some people, what does it mean to be patriotic?
Well, my son is in the military Air Force and I'm very proud of him serving our country.
To me, being an America is like having a new life.
To me, being an American is like having a new life. Because I'm from Mexico, and the United States has given me so much opportunities.
For the 5 hours the parade will take place. With that comes a true spirit of America. I really think our country really needs to come together as one, and this is an amazing example as that. You look at all these people, and they're here to be united as a nation under God. This is Wilson Walker live from Wall Street. Thanks.
The following message has been transmitted at the request of the New York Police Department. At 9:30 a.m. a strange and unusual situation is currently taking place at the Wall Street 4th of July parade. Several reports of people having seizures were reported all across the area. Several other injuries were reported from people falling at awkward angles onto hard surfaces were reported. It is currently unknown what is causing this, but state police will look into this situation more. The 4th of July parade has been canceled due to the situation. It is currently unknown what is causing this, but state police will look into the situation more. The 4th of July parade has been canceled due to the situation. The people who have experienced the seizures are currently unconscious but make strange sudden movements on occasion. We recommend for everyone to stay away from Wall Street as medical treatment is being given for those who are injured. That number over 500 people. We would like everyone to stay tuned to local media outlets on the situation.
Breaking news bulletin has just come in from the Wall Street parade. From what I'm hearing, tons of people were reported to be having seizures and began foaming from the mouth, then began falling unconscious. Several other reports saw these people twitching from their arms and legs were reported. Over 300 injuries were reported, with 3 people in critical condition after a car had drove into 3 people when the driver also fell unconscious and soon crashed into a wall, but not before hitting 3 people. A massive amount of paramedics arrived on the scene about 4 minutes later. We had several reports of a man who had fallen unconscious and experienced all the symptoms the other 900 people felt. The man had left the area without being noticed due to the fact other people were in need and there were bigger concerns at the time. This man had traveled to Queens and began screaming and pounding on a residential house in Queens with his head. He had done this to the point where he began bleeding majorly. Local authorities spotted him and attempted to arrest him, but he continued to bang on the door with his head. After force was used to attempt to arrest the man, he began screaming but never made any attempt to move in any way possible. He also had said that, "Oh my God. Alright, we have another report that more people on Wall Street near the bank have had seizures and foamed up as well as falling unconscious, and it seems whatever caused the first outbreak of this has stuck again. From what I'm hearing, most affected people are paramedics and some survivors of the first outbreak. We need everyone to lock their doors and windows as well. This is one of the strangest situations I've ever been across. Well, this situation has really escalated from the last time."
The following message has been transmitted at the request of the New York State Health Administration Office and the New York Police Department. At 10:52 a.m., a new virus has been detected to be spreading all across New York City, hitting the counties of New York, Kings and Queens. Little information is known about this virus, but some information such as symptoms of this is known about the current situation, but more information will be given to the public as soon as possible. The symptoms of the virus that may change are falling unconscious, large red rash bumps on skin on legs and arms, large itching, possible organ failures in the large intestine and kidney. Local authorities reported that the patient had an unknown moving lump on their stomach. The victims have also been reported to be making strange movements during their normal days, such as screaming, twitching, and even sometimes hitting people. We advise everyone to not interact with any water near or New York City. The New York State Public Health Office has said that it is unsure how the virus is spreading, but will still be taken very seriously and be treated as if the virus was airborne. All residents within a 20-mile radius of New York City are advised to return to their house as fast as possible. All residents are advised to not drink water unless it is bottled. Do not use water for cleaning clothing, showering, or in any other way. Stay tuned to local media outlets on the situation.
Several reports of more people falling unconscious have been reported. According to the New York Police Department, 9 deaths and 26 injuries have been reported, not including the other 300 minor injuries from the Wall Street parades. 2 of the deaths had occurred from the parade, and 3 other deaths have now occurred from 2 people who had shot 3 people. An unknown increase in crime was reported in Queens and New York. 2 unknown individuals began breaking down a residential home with a shotgun, and began screaming, then shot dead Frank Sabra. They then ran across the street and shot dead someone on a porch. A police officer shortly after ran up to him and demanded him to put the gun down and to comply with police orders. They both failed to comply with police, and he was killed in the street. The New York Public Health Office has also said that more symptoms have also come out for this new disease, such as coughing, increase in violence, uncontrollable screaming, loss of occasional control, lack of memory, and 15% chance of death. The other deaths had come from the new disease on the streets and in the hospital. Most hospitals in downtown Manhattan are being overwhelmed with most of these cases, with most people experiencing these symptoms. It also has discovered that the water has an alarming amount of toxicity in the water, to the point all fish in the waters were reported to be falling dead and floating up to the top. One investigator had observed that the virus, whatever it is, had consumed its heart and tongue and killed it very fast. That investigator unfortunately got infected but is getting medical treatment for his disease. This is a very strange situation, and I've never seen anything like it. Contaminated water was reported to not be safe to drink after it. What? Well, in a residential home in Kings had reported that a lady was infected. A 911 dispatcher came to the area and entered the home slowly. He went up to the bedroom and the lady there and started screaming, "They are all dying, look at them all." He said that there was something crawling on the two people who were now on the ground with blood all over them. He had said that it was eating their flesh and it was physically coming out of their bodies. From what the other dispatcher said when this was recorded on his radio that was on is that his tongue was gone and it was hard for him to understand the other man and he was screaming in agony. And later on he screamed, "Shoot me, shoot me." The police officer had started screaming when whatever the virus thing was, it was on his leg and it was biting him. Another gunshot went off as well and then another. The police officer was reported to be exiting the vehicle and ran into the street. He then pointed a gun at another dispatcher who knew that he was infected. He got out of the car, but the police officer had kept screaming, "Go away, leave now." He then attempted to bring him to the hospital, but he had taken out his gun and shot him and himself dead. Some reports have said that people have begun falling dead in the streets of Queens. Several of the people who were on parts of Wall Street and parts of Queens had begun screaming, and more increase in violence have been reported, such as fistfights and destruction of property. 15 arrests were reported from this situation. Quarantine actions have been taken in some homes in Queens, but besides that, back to downtown Manhattan.
Walk along a razor's edge, but don't look
following message is transmitted at the request of the New York Police Department. The virus that was detected in Queens and New York County has spread to other parts of New England and nearby areas. The virus is now being named YZ0. The disease was detected to have living organisms that has infiltrated the patient's body. Blisterings and rashes were reported on patients' bodies from this situation. The organism was reported to be eating organs from the inside, eating lungs, kidneys, and tissue. The organism's power was detected to be rising to a very rapid rate. The 94th Street Hospital has been shut down and abandoned after a rapid rate of patients coming in and needing help escalated to the point where people had dropped dead and the organism had attacked other people in the clinic with great strengths. Only about 30% of the people inside the clinic were able to escape. The organism that is also being called YZ0 is about 4 inches long and 2 inches wide, that has 8 legs and looks like a centipede. Do not interact with any bugs in any way possible. If you see this bug inside of your home or in a public place, you should call local authorities to take care of the bug and dispose of it. Attempt to kill the bug with a broom or any long and heavy object to kill it. Do not touch the bug and do not go close to it. This will put your life at serious danger of getting infected. Although martial law is not in effect, any crimes committed will be punished as the same as if martial law was in effect. This situation has been causing several deaths in the hundreds and has caused moderate damage to residential homes. This virus originated from the water and caused several people that have swam in the water to go completely missing. Therefore, do not drink or use water in any way possible, and do not swim in any bodies of water, as this will result in certain death. We advise everyone to stay inside and to not head outside. Curfew being set at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time and will end at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. If you are caught outside, local authorities will use any means necessary to prevent the disease from spreading, that include being arrested and questioned and possibly death. All public areas will be closed at the time with no exceptions and will not reopen until the curfew is lifted at 7 a.m. This will not be used as an excuse to commit crimes, as you will be arrested and charged. All of the symptoms have been discovered. They include rash, blister, loss of body control, organ failures, pain, moving lumps in stomach, and bleeding. Animals have been reported to also be a carrier of YZ0. A cure has begun in places across the United States. This is a very dangerous situation, and appropriate, serious, and necessary actions should be taken immediately. Stay tuned to the latest news outlets on this dangerous situation.
Hello.
Oh, are those your kids? They're so cute. They could be models.
Thank you. I'm so proud of them. I carried each one of them for 9 months inside of my torso and then pushed them out of my vagina.
Boo. Weird. Okay, but this is a lost cause.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the New York Police Department. A hostage situation has begun at the LaGuardia International Airport in Queens. The individual was reported to have blood on his face and holes in his neck and has no tongue. It is known that this person is infected with the XY0 virus that causes inability to control body and causes an increase in violence. The individual has a pistol and is holding several 35 people hostage on a Embraer 135 for an unknown reason. Everyone in the airport has been asked to leave. Other reports of crimes such as fistfights and some cases of gun violence were reported. We advise everyone in Queens to seek shelter now. Do not interact with
Well, the city here in New York is really going insane. We got a contagious disease that's recently been discovered to be not a virus, but a deadly organism that grows inside the body. The people who've caught this have said that reports of rashes and blisterings were reported on people's faces, back, chest. Some reports have came in that have wanted to make me gag. Reports of these organisms moving relatively fast were reported in Times Square and Central Park. Do not approach or touch these bugs at all. We advise everyone to go to the hospital if someone they know or yourself is showing any symptoms of YZ0 or have blisterings or massive rashes that are sudden as fast as possible. Research for a cure has officially begun in Washington with volunteers from European and Asian governments volunteering to help work on the cure as fear and panic came across them after it was threatening to spread to different countries if the situation was to escalate. Gun violence was also being an issue with several people going on a shooting spree with the hostage situation at LaGuardia International Airport where 10 people have been confirmed to be killed at the airplane on the gate. We asked that.
Who's banging on the door?
Here, I'll go check it out.
Holy shit.
Get the hell out of here now.
Move out of the way.
Hello, beautiful. Strippers do nothing for me. I like a strong, salt-of-the-earth, self-possessed woman at the top of her field. Your Steffi Grafs, your Cheryl Swoopses. But I will take a free breakfast buffet anytime, any place. Tomcat, pull up a mouth. This buffet is unstoppable.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the New York Police Department. A large fire has broken out all across Central Park due to the harsh humidity and the hot temperatures. At this time, it is unknown how this fire has broken out, but police will be looking into the situation more. The police have suspected that the XY0 virus may be part of this due to the increase in violence in several parts of the city. Several fire trucks are on the scene in an attempt to defuse the blaze. People are advised not to enter Central Park at this time and enter when the all clear is given by local authorities. Stay tuned to local media outlets for further details and information. The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. At 11:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a major infection was reported to be spreading throughout the eastern United States in the following cities: Portland, Maine; Buffalo, New York; Rochester, New York; Watertown, New York; Syracuse, New York; New York City, New York; Scranton, Pennsylvania; Philadelphia, Pennsylvania; Newark, New Jersey; Baltimore, Maryland; Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania; Cleveland, Ohio; Detroit, Michigan; Flint, Michigan; Washington, Maryland; Columbus, Ohio; and Chicago, Illinois. Anyone in these affected areas are in immediate danger. All residents in the United States should seek shelter now. A new bacterial infection was reported in New York City that was discovered to be a living organism that took control of the person's body like mind control. The bugs are eating organs and lungs and have been reported to be coming out of people's bodies and moving on to other people's bodies. Many reports of the affected people attacking other civilians with weapons were reported. These people have holes in them, have massive blisters and rashes on them, and are very dangerous. Do not approach any of these people as you will face